Good morning, everybody. Happy Motivation Monday. This is Trainer Nick checking in with you guys for the first Motivation Monday of the new year of 2020. So, Happy New Year, guys. Hopefully you finished 2019 strong. Hopefully you guys had a great open enrollment as well, right? Quote of this week: your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. And that actually comes from Bill Gates. So I love that, right? And that's kind of something that we can do in this time here, right? Now that open enrollment's over, it's really a good time to kind of take some revenue of yourself and of your business. What did you do great? What were your successes this open enrollment? And then where are our areas of improvement, and use some of those unhappy customers, some of those unhappy experiences that came up, and learn from it. See how we can change things to do it better next time around. So, awesome. Let's get started here on this Motivation Monday, guys. So, a couple things for the week. I have a couple tips of the week. We'll go over our sales shout-outs. And then this week, so OEP is over, right? And now we're in that SEP. So what now? What do we do now? That's kind of our topic for this week. And then we'll go over a quick survey at the end. So that's our stuff for the week. Let's see here. So the first tip of the week is the training library, guys. A lot of you don't even know that we have this. And so our Motivation Mondays are housed in here. More importantly, there's a lot of cool training things in here. So if you go to AHCPsales.com, just /pre-recorded-training-videos. So a lot of dashes in there, right? But AHCPsales.com/pre-recorded training videos, right? Check it out, guys. There's a ton of great stuff in there. And obviously, we'll be putting new content in there for you guys as it comes up as well. So great place to know. Probably bookmark that, save that, access it there. Also, Pivot is now available in Quote It, just to give you guys an extra short-term option there. So if there's somebody you're already writing with, awesome, continue that. If there's somebody you're not writing with, take a look at them. See how they're comparing in the states that you do business in. This might be an alternative option for you to be able to provide some of your customers. So definitely look into that. But Pivot is now available in our Quote It. All right, guys, so our sales leaders of the last week of last year and then started this year, right? So for short term, it was honestly 50-50. We broke $1 million in sales in the week, which is great for after OEP, right? But NatGen and United still came through strong, and it was really about 50-50 there on the short terms. For limited med, accident, and critical illness, those supplements there, NatGen continues to kind of lead the way for us. So they got those strong products, and it's clear because you guys are writing them the most there. Plan Enhancer continues to be a huge one, and obviously Foundation Health there. For dental, the majority of our plans are actually right now Golden Rule, UHC. So clearly everybody's found a plan there that they're loving, that their customers are loving, and that really looks like our go-to there. For short-term sales, our leaders were Kimberly Lucart, great job, Aaron Clark, and Mark Hager. So great job, the three of you there, getting top short-term sales for this week, where we eclipsed over $1 million in sales as a company in that week. So that's great. For limited med, we had Anita Garcia and Bill Cox on there. So great job to the two of you. And then accident plans, Jessica Banville and again Kimberly Lucart. So great job all around, guys. Good job getting some of those supplements in there with the short terms. That's really how we make our money here. So great job to you guys doing that. All right, so now we're going to kind of jump into the topic here, what now, right? So open enrollment has ended, OEP is over, and now we're in SEP. So let's go over some of the stats. What happened to this open enrollment, okay? There were a total of 8.3 million people enrolled in 2020 during this open enrollment period, during this OEP, okay? That's actually down 2.5% from last year. Even crazier, if you go back 2 years, it's down nearly 7% of total enrollments just from 2 years ago, okay? And these stats are just from healthcare.gov, not the state marketplaces, okay? What this is telling me, guys, is less and less customers are finding the major medical plans to be sufficient for their needs or to be cost efficient for them, right? So they're looking for alternative options. Not as many people are getting enrolled through healthcare.gov. That number keeps dropping each year. So we got to make sure that we're aware of that and make sure that we're there to catch them. Make sure that they don't go without health insurance for 2020, right? One big thing, guys, even though open enrollment has ended for healthcare.gov, there are a ton of states that are still doing it, that have extended open enrollment. Some of them permanent, some of them have just state by state, right, that have come up. So these are a list of the states. California, Washington, D.C., and New York have all extended to the end of the month. Massachusetts just a week short of that on January 23rd. And then you're going to see Connecticut and Colorado still have another just over a week out there for that. So as you're working in these states, if you are, be aware of this when you're talking to customers, especially those customers that still might need a subsidy, some government help there. Some of these states still have options out there for them, and so you don't want to just get them right over to short term if this customer could qualify for a subsidy and we could get them some help, right? So be aware of that. Keep an eye out for that, all right? So what now that we're in this special enrollment period, right? The first thing I always suggest to all of my brokers, and some of you guys do this really well, some of you need to learn this, but the first thing is to take time to recharge, right? Most of us, if we're doing open enrollment, right, are working nearly round the clock, right? You barely are getting sleep. Your phone's ringing off the hook. You're trying to get all of your customers enrolled in the right plans, right? And that's awesome. So I have brokers that usually go on vacation either before or after open enrollment's over, and I love that. I'm more of the after open enrollment type to reward myself, right? And so this might be a time where it's good to just get out and go do something that you haven't done. Go on vacation, go see somewhere you haven't been before. Just take a week and recharge. But also in that recharge period, think about your business, right? Think about where your successes were, where your failures were, and what are you going to do differently in 2020, right? And so that's a great thing to do. Now that all the madness has kind of stopped or slowed down, first thing you want to do is really take some time for yourself and your business here for some self-evaluation, right? Next thing, guys. So these special enrollment periods, right? To have an event that qualifies for one of those qualifying life events, it needs to extend 60 days before or after the event, and you guys need to be aware of this. These are for those customers that are looking for still to get on that major medical, still to go through healthcare.gov, but they missed open enrollment, right? They need to have an SEP, or they need to have a qualifying life event to make sure that they can get a plan during this SEP, and that's usually 60 days before and after that event. So just be aware of that. When you're talking to your customers and they might have one of these qualifying life events, find out the date. When's that going down, or when did it go down, to make sure that you're still within, the ability or the time frame to get them that plan, okay? So let's talk about those QLEs, some of those qualifying life events. So there's actually 4 main categories that you can kind of sum these up in, and so that's kind of what we'll do right now. The first one is loss of health coverage. So that can be situations like a child turning 26, right? They get kicked off their parents' plan. It could be losing your job, right? Or if you lose Medicare, Medicaid, all of those can be loss of health coverage. And so that would be a qualifying life event where, as long as it's 60 days before or within 60 days after that event happening, we can check out healthcare.gov and see if we can get them some subsidies and a plan like that. The next one is change in household, right? So if your household, that's a change like a marriage, a divorce, having a baby or adopting a baby, right? Something like that. That's your household is changing. So that is a qualifying life event. And there's a change in residence. This is moving to a new county. Maybe if you're a student and you're moving away for college, right? Whatever that might be, that's change in residence, and that would qualify you. And then the last is this other category where they kind of threw a couple things in there. So that's like leaving incarceration, getting out of jail, becoming a citizen, or changes in your income, right? Those are all things that could also potentially qualify, because a change in income affects your subsidy, right? So all of these things matter and count as qualifying life events. Be aware of them when you're talking to your customers to see if there's even an opportunity to still get them on an Obamacare plan, right? Now, other than Obamacare, right? Other than the ACA and healthcare.gov, what other alternative options are there, right? And it's really the meat and potatoes of what we sell. So you see, coming to a county, you just have open enrollment for this tiny little period of time here. Well, what do we do the rest of the year if you don't have a qualifying life event, right? That's where you start selling short-term and fixed benefits, right? And a ton of you guys are doing that. Again, we had $1 million in short-term sales this last week, so clearly we're doing that. And this is a huge time for that, right? Let your customers know, market this. Hey, just because you missed open enrollment, there are still really great alternative health plans for you at a fraction of the cost. Let me help you with that. More importantly, though, is building those packages, right? Because you're going to have small groups now, and small groups can kind of start any time of the year, right? And then you can build those packages, both with the short-term and the fixed benefit. You can add some of those ancillary, some of the critical illness, right? Some of the accident plans. This is where you could start looking into Medicare, life insurance, right? So this is where you really want to start looking at ways to develop your business. Make it a little bit more well-rounded, right? So take this time, guys. Still market that you can sell health insurance, and even that you have options better than major medical right now, right? And build those packages appropriately for your customers. But make sure you're still here to catch the people that missed open enrollment. They know they missed open enrollment, but they want health insurance, right? How do you capture that audience and then get them onto short-term plans? Get them some accident, some critical illness, some dental plans, right? Really start furthering your book of business, but also helping the people that need it at this time. Okay? Guys, so that's kind of what we're at right now, where we're at, right? So make sure to stay focused during this special enrollment period time, right? That just because open enrollment's over does not mean people don't need health insurance. And probably this next month is the most important, because those procrastinators that missed it now are definitely looking, right? So make sure you're capturing them, make sure you're touching those people, and make sure you're marketing for that, right? Because there are still a ton of people out there. Again, 7% less enrolled in major medical with healthcare.gov than just 2 years ago. That's a huge part of the market that we have that we can attack and try to get them on the right plans, guys. So let's get 2020 going the right way, right? Let's get started off on the right foot and make sure that we're still pounding the pavement, even though we just got done with that crazy open enrollment, right? Awesome, guys. So thank you so much for attending this Motivation Monday. Again, this is Trainer Nick checking out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just email training@ahcpsales.com. You can also call agency services at 877-228-8773. Usually that's a quicker response time there. So, guys, thank you again. Good luck during 2020 here. Have a wonderful week. Happy Motivation Monday, guys. Take care.